I don't drink soda.
Even Danielson wax off, jack off.
Coming back with the next.
I made it. I made it. Computer stop.
Bitch, shit is real. Like I pooped Jerusalem. Sometimes Eminem's just so much.
Yeah, that doesn't do it for you?
No, I like that song and I like, fucking Eminem, but sometimes it's, I can see why people are just like, oh god, it's not the most fucking corny, cringe shit ever.
Yeah, whenever you're like, oh, that new Eminem song is pretty good, and people are like, yikes, bro. Yeah. What are you talking about? What?
What are you talking about, brother?
I'm gonna put that out. Get this a little relaxed over here. Get a little relaxed vibe on that.
Oh no, it's back.
Yeah.
It's back. It's that time of year.
It's back. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh shit, I should probably engage with the audio, huh? Audio. In.
Definitely.
That would be really good, actually.
That'd be sick.
Mm-hmm. Have the opening be that. It'll be us. Us right now, but we'll be in slow motion, It'll be doing like our movements in slow motion. We'll be like.
Oh wait, I probably shouldn't be in slow motion myself right now. So it's gonna make it too slow.
Yeah, it's gonna be too slow. It's gonna be way too
slow.
So yeah, we'll be pointing. We'll be like, look at that ghost. Oh my god, and they'll slow motion that, and then it'll play the haunted podcast theme song.
Sick.
And then we'll cut into the beginning of the show, which goes
3, 2, 1.
Yo, thank you for tuning into the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is Awesome Ty.
Computer is here, the one and only artificially intelligent podcast co-host. He is, he's AI, you get it. You know how it goes. Smart Plug is here.
Smart Plug, yeah.
Hooked up to Starlink. This guy,
yeah.
He was missing for a long time. We thought something happened to him last week. Turns out everything's fine.
Everything's A-okay. He's in perfectly fine condition, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. Free Candy is also here up in the Great White North.
He's
Free
up in
Candy,
Canada.
Say hello, bud. All right, great. That's perfect.
That's great, Free Candy.
So for people that caught the episode last week, saw that, we were under the impression that something terrible had happened to Smart Plug. We had gotten this email from the mafia, which is a very odd way to transfer like a mafia, like a message from the mafia.
Yeah, you would think so,
email.
but the modern day mafia, they're tech savvy guys.
True. They all have iPhone 16s. And we got this message from the mafia. We left the podcast in a hurry because we just wanted to go and like talk to the mafia, and we wanted to make sure that everything was on the up and up.
It wasn't out of fear or concern or anything like that. We just wanted to hurry up and get out of here so we could go deal with our mafia business.
To resolve the situation, which we did.
We did.
Turns out it was a big misunderstanding.
As you can see, I'm here, Mikey's here, Smart Plug's here.
Yeah, Smart Plug's here, healthier than ever.
Everyone's doing fine.
Smart Plug, say hello, bud.
Everyone's doing real good.
Bag it. Yeah, see, Smart Plug's here.
He's good.
He's fine.
Everything's okay. Everything's worked itself out. And
by mafia, I don't mean mafia. That's that's a loosey-goosey term. What I really mean is like a family.
Just a family of guys of Sicilian heritage. And I mean, what they do in their own private lives, that's Who's to say?
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Nobody's business but theirs, you know? But yeah, we are here. We're not here by force or anything. We're not here, well, besides the Disney thing, obviously. Disney's forcing us to be here. But even if Disney wasn't around forcing us, we'd still be here because we do it for the Habit Rats. We do it for you guys. And, you know, we love you so much. You look great. You know, I heard you talking earlier. You're totally right. You know, I think that they don't understand, you know, how great you are. They take you for granted. And, you know, you have every right to be upset.
I think so too. You guys are, I mean, it doesn't matter what other people think of you. It's what we think of you. I mean, so what if your neighbor hates you? And I mean,
who cares?
He does, but it
doesn't matter.
Yeah. When you're tuning into the Natural Habitat podcast, all of that goes by the wayside, and you know, you're here amongst friends.
That's right.
Family.
That's right. So, you know, we probably should allow you guys to thank us for being here.
You're right.
You're welcome.
Is that enough time?
Do you think maybe they want to talk about the impact the show has on their life or something like that?
I would love to hear that.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll give you a little bit more time if you had more to say. Wow, that's great to hear. Beautiful. Well, you're welcome. So I recently, well, actually not even recently, today. That would be recently, right?
On this day.
On this day of recording this, I went out and I purchased myself a iPhone 16 Pro Max, newest iPhone, cutting edge technology, ultramarine, the color. And I have 6 extra buttons now. And more importantly, I have access to Apple Intelligence soon.
How are you feeling about that?
I feel great.
Is the anticipation too much for you? Are you hanging in there as far as counting down these days? I mean, I know, you know, it's like when you're a child and Christmas is coming up, you know, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, even 24th, they can just be strenuous. They can be taxing, and they can it seems like an eternity.
It was. And the last week was this whole waiting game because I wanted to wait until the 20th to buy it because that's when my residual checks come through for being in the Cal Paso Solar television commercial. The Solar Dudes commercial from years ago. So I get my check for that every month on the 20th. So I was like, I want to buy this on the 20th. You know, that check will pay for that plus, you know, my car payment and all that stuff. And waited for the 20th. 20th finally came. I bought it. I got it. And now I got to wait another 10 days 8 days.
For the update.
Where you get Apple Intelligence. But this is one of the rare times that Apple sold something on a promise. This is features that aren't out yet. But at the Apple Store today, all the signs were like Apple Intelligence, get your glow up on, because the new theme is like a glowing type of, you know, neon glow.
See, I was not aware of this, but I mean, that sounds like something Apple would do.
So that's their whole marketing campaign is like this neon glow thing. And Siri is supposed to turn into this neon glow instead of having a little circle that pops up. Oh, really? The whole border of your screen will glow. So
Siri's getting a physical, or not a physical, but a visual upgrade as well. Yeah. So I would like to see like a face for Siri, and maybe like a face that you stylize yourself.
I like
customize
that.
yourself,
like an avatar that
and
you can build.
And all of a sudden, you know, you say Siri, and
the face
we get an actual
up.
face, and
a realistic, like you're on a FaceTime with a guy, and you're like, or a lady, and you're like, hey, I need help with something, and you have this friend that will give you any information you need.
I was reading a concern when developing this Apple Intelligence stuff was that people are going to become, you know, obviously like not normal people, but people who maybe, have some pre-existing issues, they're going to become too emotionally dependent on this new Siri.
Yeah.
And that was a factor in determining where exactly they went with it. And it's like, really, like you're gonna limit our access to Apple Intelligence just because there's some freaks out there that maybe would fall hopelessly in love with their Siri. It's like, really, like I just it frustrates me that, and I feel like it should be determined on a case-by-case basis what you're emotionally capable of dealing with. And your phone knows, you know what I mean? Like your phone already knows.
It already knows.
So like that should be part of the Apple Intelligence, to where like the AI analyzes your phone and the weird shit you do, and they're like, all right, like you can have these features.
Yeah.
You cannot have any of these features. And it kind of prejudges you. And
I think that's a great idea. Because that would be perfect, and then everybody has their own rollout at their own speed.
Exactly. So like if you're a well-rounded and emotionally stable genius, like you or I, you get the whole shebang right off the top. You get unlimited
100%.
access.
Yeah.
And then like, I mean, can you imagine what Jerry's phone's looking like? I mean, Jerry, he's probably at risk of becoming emotionally dependent on his Apple Intelligence or really anyone who talks to him. But, I mean, you gotta determine this stuff on a case by case basis. You can't just judge everyone the same.
So this rollout is going down in just a few days, but as
out,
me and
roll
my
out
iPhone.
No.
Yeah. But as of the time of this recording, 0 of these features are available to the public.
Not a one of them.
So, I mean, this is really just on a hope, living on a prayer. We're living on a hope and a dream that this is going to come through and that this is going to be cool. And I believe it because it's Apple. And Apple as...
No, I think that they already have beta testing going on. I saw that there was a public beta test. I didn't sign up for it. I considered it. I just didn't get around to it. But have you looked up? Because, I mean, I'm sure at the very least, like some of the big tech reviewers and YouTubers have already gotten access to this stuff. Have you looked up to see like any reviews on what's coming, or are you just going to let it be a surprise?
So I have been kind of looking into it, and I've seen not a lot of people got access to it.
Oh, really?
Like a few people have, but the only change that they got to like Siri in particular was the visual element, but it didn't operate any differently than Siri normally would.
See, I don't know. Like part of me is worried. Part of me is worried just because like Apple's already been so behind the curve on this AI stuff. It's like I've been saying for probably 2 years plus now that like, why does Siri not have ChatGPT? Why does Siri why is Siri so fucking stupid still? Why can't Siri do this? Why can't Siri tell my children a brand new bedtime story that she made on the spot? Like why can ChatGPT do all these things or any other model of AI that's come out in the past year or two? Why can they do all these things and have all these features and Siri is literally just absolutely useless? Sorry, Siri.
Siri's just like, here's what I found for you, and then gives you 3 articles.
Yeah, and then won't even read them.
Won't even read them.
Won't even read them. Yeah.
And so they only got that glowing circle update. And even like I've been watching a lot of Marcus Brownlee, and he's like a tech YouTuber. I think it's pronounced Marquez.
Okay.
And he has been doing all these videos about the iPhone 16, and I've been like trying to study up on it and learn all the things. And he hasn't even gotten access to it.
Damn.
And he's a guy you've never heard of.
Damn, yeah.
So
never heard of
him.
So there's that makes me think that it's either going to be really exciting and they're trying to knock everyone's socks off, or it's going to be kind of underwhelming and they're just kind of trying to downplay it.
I think that it's going to be a very slow rollout over the next like year and a half, and like through 2025, that we're going to get a little bit, one feature at a time. And I think that the first one will probably be like, it'll just be the visual Siri thing, probably the same thing that all of the like testers and stuff got and all the reviewers. And I forget what the other thing was, but it was something like dumb to do with like the calendar app or something like that. It would like help you rearrange your appointments and shit, which is cool. Like if you use that.
Yeah.
But I think that they're going to drop that one. And then the next like major one will probably be just one feature like Apple Intelligence in your photo album, where you can go through and like ask it for certain details that you can't really get with a search.
Well, supposedly, I know one of the features, I don't know when it's coming, but one of the features is you're going to be able to like generate pictures of yourself like Mid-Journey or the AI photo apps to where like you could be like, imagine me doing this.
Yeah.
And then you can also do other people, which is something that some of the apps don't even let you do. I don't know the extent to which that's going to be possible. I mean, you know, but
yeah,
that is one of the, I think that's probably the most exciting thing that I've seen advertised in the Apple Intelligence, but I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm really excited about besides the Siri and GPT, like that's what I'm in it for, is the AI emojis. And you could just make an emoji for whatever you want, and it will display it as like a real emoji, and then it'll also save it to your emoji gallery. So you could just, if you want a pink donut on a desert island with a birthday hat on, you can make that.
See, I feel like just it's really going to depend on the quality of which they come out, because like Messenger already does that, right? You can do that on Messenger now.
I don't think you can create an emoji, can you?
I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
Well, that was one of the big things that was marketed during the first Apple Intelligence.
What do you want an emoji for?
Let's
try this.
Oh, yeah, try it out.
Give me an
Say a purple dinosaur surfing on grape Kool-Aid holding an umbrella. And we'll see how this turns out. And then if it turns out good and it's an actual emoji, then you'll be able to send it to me, and then I can put it in the description of the show. You know, it'll show up in the show notes. So if Meta AI is really that good, then you'll be able to go in the show notes to this episode and see a purple dinosaur surfing on a wave of grape Kool-Aid with an umbrella.
That's not bad. It's missing the umbrella.
Let me see it.
And the Kool-Aid isn't grape. It's clearly like
Damn. All right. Well, he's drinking Kool-Aid. That's pretty good.
He's surfing, you know, like it's there. It's
that actually is pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then Apple's going to be able to do that also.
But better.
Yeah. And I think that these things are going to like slowly roll out.
I got my twin.
And you're going to get like one thing at a time. And then it's going to be like, you know, a little bit here and there. Little
See,
things.
I don't really like that when they do stuff like that. I would rather you get all these features together and you give us one big drop, and then it feels like like a big event.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's why they did 18, because iOS 18 was like one of the biggest updates in a long time. And they changed a lot of things and changed like the control center and remapped all kinds of stuff and gave you all kinds of different features. So I think they did that so that way you couldn't get really mad about them releasing the AI stuff.
That would make sense.
They're like, look at all the stuff we just gave you with iOS 18. You got to give it some time.
Yeah. And I guess Apple, I mean, they drop a new iPhone every year, and the differences between them historically are year to year are very minimal.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of on brand for Apple.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I want all of the tech, dude. I want all the cool new tech at once. I want it today. I want it now.
Yeah.
Give me.
So do I. So something that we both could have swore that we talked about already on the podcast, but according to AI, we haven't, is 3 Mile Island, which is a nuclear power plant a closed nuclear power
Was
plant.
this an actual island? I know very little. I know that there was a nuclear disaster in the 80s. Is that the gist of it?
So there was let me go find this. It's in Middleton, Pennsylvania. There was a nuclear reactor meltdown at 3 Mile Island.
And what does that mean? What when a meltdown happens? Like, the only frame of reference I have is like The Simpsons and like meltdowns at Homer's power plant.
So I think it's like,
what happens with a meltdown.
So I was actually with an expert the other day.
Sure.
And he was explaining it to me like a nuclear reactor is you have a bunch of plutonium, right?
And plutonium's like
it's like green glowing
slimy,
stuff.
like shiny. Okay.
It's like a rock. It's like a big like green shiny
It's like the
thing.
Ninja Turtle ooze, right?
Yeah, but in solid form.
Oh, okay. It's a solid.
Solid.
Okay.
And you take this and it's putting off this radiation, right? And you capture this radiation in like a blanket. So it's like a series of blankets that are like thrown over it and you like capture it, right? And sometimes there's like a constant cooling process that has to happen.
So this stuff's hot.
This stuff's hot and it's burning.
It's
burning.
Okay.
And you have to constantly keep whatever you're holding it in cold. So it's a process of cooling this thing constantly.
Oh, okay.
Which is why a lot of reactors are like near the ocean or in lakes.
Got you on a cool
something.
spot so you can keep this plutonium at a reasonable temperature.
Yeah, exactly. And if something goes wrong with your cooling mechanism, then you will have a meltdown, which is where the plutonium melts through this container that it's in down into the ground. Starts poisoning the groundwater.
Sure, I mean, like it fucks up everything it touches, right? It's
Fucks up the soil, fucks up the
plutonium.
ground.
It's radioactive to the umph degree.
Yeah, it's leaking into the world, and everything's glowing, and it's squirrels are getting extra eyes.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's turning cute little animals into monstrosities and giving people superpowers. A lot of times it tends to be the villains that are getting these powers. So you're getting like your Doctor Dooms and your what's the Hobgoblin?
Yeah,
these are all nuclear meltdown victims, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
If my recollection serves me.
And it's always like a big thing in whenever this meltdown happens, it creates these freaks, and these freaks end up using this power to hurt people. It's like a big chain reaction.
Yeah.
So you don't want a meltdown.
No.
Because meltdown leads to the freaks. We have an overabundance of freaks. We've seen any X-Men movie where they're like, keep the freaks out,
Yeah, these are nuclear radiation, plutonium victims.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the expert said that it actually, a lot of the money that goes into running these nuclear power plants is spent cooling it, and that the energy that's coming out, actually you're not even, because you're selling the energy to shell companies, you're selling the energy to guys, sneaky trades in the alleyways and shit. You're selling the energy on the black market. You let anybody plug in and then they feed off the grid, it's called.
Okay.
So when you're out here pushing this energy, you're barely making enough to cool your shit. It's like a cycle. So these guys are barely making money. So they're not happy. They don't care. Yeah. They're not following the rules. They're cutting corners. And that's how a leak happens. A meltdown. So 3 Mile Island, which was called that because of its 3 nuclear reactors. So not just one nuclear reactor, they had 3.
They got 3.
3 of them. And they were a mile long or something.
Okay.
Tall. And one of them melted down. In, looks like it says 1979, March 28th, 1979, One of the plant's 2 reactors' cooling mechanisms malfunction. What did I say? Cooling mechanism. The reactor that will be reopened was not involved in the accident. So, reopened.
So they're this place has been closed since the meltdown.
Yeah.
And it's just been like I mean, is anything else going on this island? Or has it just been it didn't spill?
Oh, okay. No, this island has been deserted. They took all the freaks off. They killed them. There's probably freaky bugs, I would imagine, that they couldn't get rid of all the way.
Yeah.
But they took all the animals off, killed all the animals, killed all the people, and this island was deserted for however many years. Computer, how long does it take for nuclear radiation to dissipate?
God damn it, computer!
To an Alexa Answers contributor. Anywhere between 1 and 5 years.
Okay.
Also, I can give you notifications on new movies being released. Would you like me to do that?
Yes.
Mikey, you're now following movies, and you will receive
No.
notifications
Hey,
when they
no.
have updates.
Computer, stop following movies.
Mikey, you've unfollowed movies.
Jesus Christ. In 1 to 5 years is bullshit.
Okay.
That's not
yeah,
what
it
it is.
doesn't sound right.
Because I
It
remember
doesn't sound
hearing
right.
that, like, Chernobyl, for example, was like, 50,000 years until people could live there.
I'm thinking
or whatever.
bare minimum 30, which I guess we would be over 30 at this point, but like 1 to 5, that does not sound accurate.
But they are reopening this plant in Pennsylvania to power Microsoft's AI computers that Microsoft is using for their AI projects to battle
you
Apple
got the
Intelligence.
Bing, isn't it? Bing is their AI, which I've used, and it's one of the better ones, honestly. I feel like. So they're reopening 3 Mile Island in order to generate nuclear power for their AI program.
Yeah. So they say that it is clean and carbon-free energy and that powering industries critical to our nation's global economic and technological competitiveness, including data centers, requires an abundance of energy that is carbon-free and reliable every hour of every day, and nuclear plants are the only energy source that can consistently deliver on that promise. So they would do solar, but at nighttime it doesn't run. They would do wind, but if it's not windy, it's not going to work.
But can't you bank up like extra solar energy during the daytime?
That's how it works.
That
The
powers it
solar
through the night.
charges the battery.
So what's the problem with that?
Well, what if it's cloudy? Then you don't get the solar.
Well, you bank it all up when it is sunny and you have an abundance.
Yeah, but still, it only
covers-
lasts so long. And especially powering all these computers
But nuclear energy is
constant.
It's perpetual.
Yeah. It just is constant at a constant rate. You're getting this energy off of this plutonium.
All right. So what are the cons to this? Because I feel like there's got to be some right. Like not everybody can be on board with this. I mean, what happens if there's another meltdown? And why should we believe that there won't be another meltdown?
They said, so what? And they said that it's critical that we open this power plant to power these AI supercomputers. Otherwise, we'll fall behind in the AI race of the world, and other countries will develop AI tools and use them against
You've
us.
already got China stealing our every bit of tech, and probably Russia and these coattail riding countries that have been riding our coattails for centuries now, just kind of stealing all of our tech, stealing the ideas of America, Thomas Edison and Benjamin Franklin and all these other countries who haven't innovated anything. They come along and try to steal and use our tech against us. So yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so we got to stay on the cutting edge. We got to stay ahead.
You got it. It's imperative.
So they're reopening 3 Mile Island so that they can power and cool these data set. Wait, applesauce for you guys.
So we're on board with this thing.
No, I think it's crazy. I think it's terrifying.
Yeah,
and I think it's weird. I think it's like AI is such a like powerful, crazy thing, and it's also so like fun, and like everyone could use it for all of these things, but it's doing everything now. And I think that we're, as a society, becoming too dependent on it too fast.
Yeah, that's true. Just a
And-
couple years ago, it was like a relatively obscure
Yeah.
idea, and now all of a sudden we're reopening 3 Mile Island to power
power it.
Microsoft's AI.
Yeah.
Not even the good AI, like not
No.
even GPT. That's the name brand one. We've got all these offshoots.
That's crazy. It's
And
nuts.
What's next? Because obviously, like, there's just going to be more and more AI that needs powering. Are we going to start opening up?
Yep.
You know, like, what about we have a nuclear power plant near us,
Diablo Canyon.
Diablo Canyon. Are they going to start using that for fucking Chat GPT? Or?
Because I heard that Diablo Canyon is in a closing phase. That it has like a 10-year or 12-year plan to close.
No more, it ain't.
No,
Just
not
wait
anymore.
until Ask Jeeves launches an AI model.
Here we go. That's them reopening
That's
the
them
door.
reopening Diablo Canyon.
Diablo
What happens if Diablo Canyon has a meltdown? Like, would we be affected?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck, yes, I don't want that.
Because all of the rivers that are near us, they all run down to the ocean.
Oh, all that sludge, that radioactive green sludge, it spills
works
into
its
our
way up.
waters.
It works its
Gets
way up
into
the
our
rivers.
water supply and starts poisoning our fishes and leaving us with patches of hair coming out. And I mean, I wouldn't mind some powers, but I don't necessarily want to take the
Yeah,
chance.
because you don't get to pick what powers you get.
No, definitely you don't.
You don't get to pick at all. You get random powers.
Yeah, and I could be morphed into some sort of like some sort of crossbreed hybrid of you know, like me and whatever the nearest animal was that was in my vicinity. So, I mean, yeah, sure, maybe I become like a raccoon guy, but what if it's like a, you know, like something less bizarre?
Yeah, I don't see how Raccoon Guy's going to help you.
I could be a raccoon guy, but I could also end up a possum guy, and like nobody's gonna love me if I'm a possum guy. Possums are considered to be a nuisance.
So yeah, it's risky, and I don't know if I would want to take that risk.
We're playing with fire.
But yeah, I think that's terrifying that they're
I'm a little bit concerned.
opening up 3 Mile Island, and something about Bill Gates investing $1 billion into a nuclear power plant that broke ground in Kemmerer, Wyoming in June. The plant will power homes and AI.
So this is another
there's
nuclear
two.
plant.
Now there's 2.
It's like Bill Gates needs to fucking chill, dude. It's like you're go retire and spend time with your grandkids or something instead of trying to open up nuclear power plants in everybody's backyards.
Shit, that's crazy. He's opening a fucking nuclear power plant in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
And I mean, granted, Wyoming is
Wyoming.
It's probably like up there with the least densely populated states. So I guess like if you are going to open and insist on opening a new nuclear power plant, I guess that makes sense. But still, like, is this really necessary?
Yeah.
You know, you got to ask yourself. Like, I'm sure there's some. I mean, I'm no nuclear physicist or anything like that. I barely have a concept of how this all works. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that there's some environmental risks going on that we're not fully taking into account for.
Yeah, and it's too quick. You know, this is barely a cool thing. And for us to put all of our eggs in that basket immediately and start
Can't
opening
we just
power plants,
drill and just drill some more oil and power things off of,
or can't we just do like a wind and solar, and then just whatever power we get, that's what we use?
That's true.
And if it's down for a week because of the storm, like then that's what it is.
Can't we pool all of the different power sources together to create one giant like
superpower?
Yeah, like a exactly. A superpower that's got it's part oil, part nuclear, part wind, part solar, part battery.
And it's a natural superpower that we could use to battle the superpower that you get from the radioactive stuff.
See, now we're talking. I feel like we need to get Terrence Howard on the horn.
That's not a bad idea.
Pitch this to him. I think he'd be able to
Do you think we could get his number? You think it'd be like really hard to get Terrence Howard's number, his personal number?
No.
Or be able to call him on like Instagram and have him get the call?
I think we would be better off trying to find his personal cell number on like the dark web or something. But I think it's probably doable. If not, we can get in touch with his agent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have some powerful connections. I mean, between Disney and the gentleman with whom we
haven't heard
business.
from Doug all day. Now that I think about it,
that's good. Should we kind of?
I think maybe he likes.
Knock on wood here.
Maybe he's an iPhone guy. Maybe Disney. Are they cool with iPhones?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. So I scheduled my appointment. I bought my phone online. Scheduled my appointment.
For what?
To pick it up locally at
you had
my
to
Apple store.
Schedule an appointment from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to go in there and buy it there and do the
you
whole
bought
thing.
this from the Apple store and not your carrier store.
Yes, I bought this from the Apple store. So I went on the Apple website, paid for it, chose it as pickup at my local store. They let me pick my time, 11 o'clock, which is when they open. So I got a text message that was like, don't be late. It was a very ominous, like, show up within your time of 11 to 11:15 or else.
You're not getting the phone.
Yeah.
You won't be able to buy it. There's no second chances with these Apple
and
people.
you can't come back at a later date. You're banned from the
Go get you a
forever.
fucking Samsung.
Yeah. Oh, no iPhone at all?
That's what I'm thinking.
I thought it was just no 16. And then if you miss your next appointment, then it's no 15. And it works.
That could be how it works. I mean, but in any event, the Apple people are notoriously unforgiving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they don't care if you are like, I'm going to take my business elsewhere. They don't give a fuck. They're Apple.
Yeah, it's like exactly. Yeah. Let's see you go get an Android.
So we show up, 10 minutes before the store opens.
Was there a line? Were there people lined up down the block?
There was a group.
A queue. I shouldn't say line. They prefer to call it a queue.
There was a queue.
Okay.
A small, disorganized queue. Like I'm talking 7 people. 7 heads.
7 heads.
And I'm standing outside. And no.
Were you weren't whistling?
I wasn't whistling.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Notoriously can't whistle. So it's funny that you would do that. It's like you're making fun of me. I famously can't whistle.
I'm sorry.
That's probably really loud. You should whistle away from the microphone.
No, I can't whistle.
There we go. Yeah, it's like you can only whistle into the microphone. Yes. Does it have something to do with the air stopping right there? I wonder.
It could be.
I'm
sorry, man. I didn't know you couldn't whistle.
Yeah, it's all right. I've been dealing with it my whole life, so.
It was insensitive on me, though. I apologize. I feel like a dick.
It's all right, man. Don't worry about it. So I'm in there, outside of the Apple store.
Were you like?
I was excited.
I'm trying to pick.
I was dancing.
So you're dancing. You're doing a little shimmy.
I was taking pictures for the gram. I was taking videos. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
And then I looked through the walls because the walls are glass. They're notoriously glass at Apple Store. I look through the walls and I see the team in there, and they're all standing around the table in the back. They have a TV that has like a slideshow presentation on it. That's like, okay, let's practice is the one that I saw. And then people were standing in front of it after that. So I didn't really see everything that it said. I was trying to. But it's like the manager was going through the slides and doing this whole like opening team meeting thing. And they kept clapping. They would take breaks and clap. And then at the end, they went and all put their hands in. And they went, Apple, Apple, Apple.
Huh. Was there a huh?
And so, yeah, huh. They threw it up.
Wow.
And it was crazy.
That's a crazy way to start your shift.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that seems like something that, like perhaps a college football team would do as opposed to, people working in
working in a
store.
retail store.
I mean, I guess that's good if they can get their morale up to where people want to go and do that. But if that's something that these people are being forced to do, like that seems wild.
So that's what I wanted to know. So they opened the doors, they unlocked them. The guy said, "Welcome patrons." The kid,
said welcome patrons.
17-year-old kid that was working there, little ginger kid.
Welcome patrons.
Welcome patrons.
Was he like passive aggressive about it, or was he?
No, he was so like
friendly,
like robotic nice, like overly customer service nice, like the fake version of a person, you know, but not passive aggressive at all. And he said, "Welcome patrons, come in." So we go in, find a guy, and he scans my thing, starts going through the stuff. And I was like, "We saw your team meeting that was going on." And he was like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, what's the deal with that? Like, I couldn't tell if it was cool or if it was corny, you know, it could go either way. And he was like, "Well, I've been working here for like 4 weeks, and the team meetings, we have them every day." And I was like, "Well, how do you like it?" And he said that that's only part of the team meeting, that the team meetings, they have to show up 2 hours early. That was just the section of the team meeting right before the opening, like right before they open the doors. But they show up 2 hours early. They do a meditation session when they first get there. And then, so the store opens at 11.
Okay.
They show up at 9. Okay. They do a 15-minute meditation. Then at 9:15, they do a Russian bathhouse type thing where you do sauna, ice. They slap you with the banana leaves.
So like some sort of gay stuff?
It's pretty gay, but like only if you were to rank it on a ranking from straight to gay.
Right.
It's gay. But it's not like super gay thing.
Gotcha.
They slap you with the stuff, but they are slapping your butt with banana leaves.
And this is nude.
Which is pretty gay.
They have to strip down.
You're nude.
Oh boy.
Men, women, college kids, high school kids. They're slapping them on the ass with the banana leaves. Then they do like a recess after that.
Like
15
a snack
minutes.
Recess.
Snacks, video games. It's almost like a grandma's boy where they have that like big room where everyone's like hanging out in. They're playing arcade games. They're playing Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, right? And then they do the pinball championship after that, where from 10 to 10:15, they do a bracketing pinball game. To whoever wins the pinball thing gets a new iPhone 16.
Every day.
Every day, yeah.
Now let me ask you this: are they being paid? Are they on the clock at this point?
No, can't clock in until 11.
So this is just a mandatory. I feel like they're setting themselves up to be sued if they're forcing these employees.
But from 10:15 to 10:45,
so it's a half hour.
You get to go home. So you're gone. You're home.
But what if you live far away and you don't even have time to make it back?
Figure it out.
Okay.
Then from 10:45 to 10:50 is lunch. So they provide you with lunch. They'll usually get a pizzas, something like that, deli sandwich, big, like 7 foot long. Everybody takes a little piece. Then that last 10 minutes, you do the store meeting that I saw.
We saw. That's the part you saw. Okay.
Then you open the store.
And what's the purpose of all that? You think it just gets them in like the proper headspace to really be an ideal Apple Store employee?
Mm-hmm. Okay. They make the ideal salesman, and it builds morale. Makes you think that you're part of a team. These people have something on you because they saw you get slapped in the ass by a naked banana leaf.
Oh, that part is. Oh, your coworkers have
the coworkers. Yeah,
gotcha. See, I feel like all of that
builds morale.
I mean, like having to go through all of that before even opening every day. Like by the time you open the store and actual work starts, I'm already going to be mentally and physically exhausted from having to do all that, from eating all the stopping and starting.
And believe me,
banana leaves slapping me. I'm not going to be in like the proper headspace to begin a day, or I'm going to want to go home and go to sleep.
And believe me, The salesman that I got, Jim G,
Mhm.
he was exhausted.
Yeah.
And he had only worked there for 4 weeks. And he was like telling me the breakdown of the whole morning meetings. And he was like, I don't even know what to think or how to feel right now. Then he asked my name, he scanned my thing, clicked it. There was an error. And then he asked my name again. And he was like, is your name Mike Baxter? And found some guy named Mike Baxter and was like clicking here and like saying that he arrived.
Hey, I'm not Mike Baxter.
Yo, what did Mike Baxter order? Did he get multiple iPhones? Because if he did, then yes, I'm Mark Baxter or whatever. But it took him a very long time to find my order.
Did you start getting nervous and you know, kind of like be like, "Uh-oh,
I thought he was gonna goof it.
Something's afoot. I'm gonna be not giving my phone. They're gonna tell me I have to leave, and I'm gonna be screwed. I'm gonna have to go back to Samsung."
Yeah. Then they give us our phones. It was me and it was my girlfriend Raven, and we both got new iPhones. The newest iPhones. They give them to us in a bag, an Apple bag. Right? Real nice bag.
Like a plastic bag. Like a no?
Paper, folded paper bag.
Oh.
With a drawstring type of like handle, right?
Okay.
And the bottom of it, instead of folding like a Food for Less bag, you know?
No, not like that.
It does like an accordion fold on the bottom. So if, say this is the bottom of the bag and it goes up like this. The bottom does like a whoosh and it gets all nice and skinny. And then that bag is just really nice. Nice material, nice paper, high grade paper. I'm talking 35 weight paper.
Oh, so it's a real nice
35,
thick, like a cardstock
grade. Yeah. And they give us these 2 iPhones in this bag, and then they just send us out into the city. So we parked at a parking garage 2 blocks away. We had to walk through the city because the Apple store is in the big city.
Yeah.
It's not in our town. We had to go to the big city to do this. And we are walking out in the big city with this Apple bag like a Target. You might as well just be holding a stack of cash. And
yeah, you got all these criminals and gang members and homeless people, and it's basically like walking through the streets of the inner city with a target on your back.
Yeah,
you're making yourself susceptible to all this crime and violence.
Yeah, and so everybody was looking at us as we were going by. We were just like, it was like wolves.
Did you hightail it?
Stalking their prey.
Just go into like a full sprint?
We acted cool and just acted like everything was normal. Act like it was a CBS bag, you know, nothing different. And then we saw this, what we thought was a family that was walking towards us, and Raven bit the kid. And then we ran. And we got out of there.
I was picturing like they're pushing like a stroller.
No, he was like 12.
Okay.
Or maybe like 8. He was probably 8.
I was just saying, you know, like I was picturing they're pushing a stroller, but then like a little like midget pops out and he's got a knife and he pops out of the stroller, and it wasn't a baby. It's a midget. He's actually like the leader of a crime gang,
and he tried to rob us.
He tries to rob you at knife point.
That would be crazy.
Just the element of surprise of seeing this baby pop out and be, you know, like a violent criminal.
That didn't happen. What happened was, so it was a kid that was like, I don't have kids, so it's hard for me to tell how old kids are.
Yeah,
but he was probably like 5, right? And he was walking with his mom and his dad. The dad was on the phone. He was talking about Geneva, Helsinki, something like that.
Yeah.
And the mom was walking, and she was holding the kid's hand, and the kid like walked by us, and he reached out at the bag, and he said something like, reached out at the bag to like get at it.
Did you swat him away? Or Raven bit him? Bit his finger?
Bit his hand, like right here, bit his hand, drew blood. It was like a whole thing. The mom or whatever, because these people work together. It probably was a midget.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And some fucking crackhead couple.
Yeah.
So the mom is like, call the police, and like screaming all this stuff. And she knew that there was enough people there that it was going to be like the bystander effect, where there's so many people witness a crime that nobody reports it.
There's like the next person.
Everybody assumes that someone else reported it. And that happens.
Yeah. I never report crimes when I see them happen.
No, especially if there's hella people around.
Yeah, and plus snitches get stitches. Or at least that's what I've been led to believe. So
all that goes on record. Every time that you report a crime, you get a mark on your snitch ticket. And then when you go to jail, the corrupt officers, they see your snitch ticket.
And they spread the word.
They spread the word. Enemies. They say he's a rat. They set you up to where when you go in, they close off everything, send everyone to their rooms. But then you're still in the mess hall. They tell you to like clean it. And then they bring in another inmate. And you're like, what's this guy doing in here? And then you see officers and they look at you and then they just turn around and like walk out. And they make you fight this guy. Because you snitched.
Yeah.
You don't want to snitch.
So, I mean, basically a lot of things can go wrong when you go to the Apple store to pick up a new phone. I mean, 1 minute you're getting a new phone, the next minute you're being accosted in prison while the guard looks the other way.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm glad that it went good.
I'm glad you got your phone, man, and you're enjoying it. I'm glad that this was an overall successful experience for you. I got a new iPhone recently, and it felt good. Yeah. I actually just ordered it and had it delivered to my house.
Did you get it next day?
I did. I think I did get it next day, yes.
Because I was looking at this morning when I went to go order it, it said that I could get it delivered same day in some areas. So I wondered if...
yeah, and I had to sign for it, which, like... I guess it's so I can't just be like, oh, I never got my phone, send me another one. But like that. What if the delivery person has like an ulterior motive and goes into business for himself, and all of a sudden he takes my phone and he signs my name illegally, and then like all of a sudden I'm screwed. I'm screwed, and then
what if?
So, I mean...
Did that happen or no?
No, I got my phone fine. I'm just saying, when you get a new iPhone, man, like it's, you're really setting yourself up for a lot of things that could potentially go wrong. And it can be a good experience, or it could quite possibly be a traumatizing, devastating experience.
Yeah. But I'm glad that I got it, and I do it. Once you go through it and you get it, it really pays off because I feel, superior. I feel smarter. I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Others are doing the wrong thing. And then also I was on an iPhone 11 and what did you have before the 15?
Me before I had 12. I had a 12 Pro Max.
So you had a 12 and I had an 11. So you were ahead of me when I got into the iPhone game.
Yeah.
Then you jumped up to 15. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, give me a second. I'm trying to upgrade here. So now I jumped up to 16. Now I'm even more superior than you with the iPhone 16 Pro Max because you have...
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
15, I have 16, mine's better. You don't have the camera control dial. That's a button and a slider.
Well, you don't have the... I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
You don't have...
I bet I do.
No.
I got it all and then some. So now I am top of the line on the phone and I win the phone.
This is bullshit.
I win phone. So I guarantee that computer's phone, Smart Plug's phone, Free Candy's phone, mine is better than all of theirs also. So I win phone. Jerry, I win phone. I win phone. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rub it in. Your phone really is exactly... Plus, to be completely honest, it's not the Pro Max. It's just the iPhone 16. So I think your 15 Pro Max is better than my 16.
I mean, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube once you've taken it out. Kind of And the damage has been done here.
What are you talking about, man?
Well, you already hurt my feelings. You can't just unhurt someone's feelings.
Well, is there anything I could do to make you feel better?
No, we're good. I forgive you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I did.
Applesauce, guys. So yeah, I guess the moral of the story is don't work at an Apple store. It sounds horrible. It reminds me of the Walmart. We are Walmart.
Do they do that at Walmart?
Yeah, there was a video of of a manager at Walmart that was holding like a team meeting like that before they opened. And he was doing this like whole motivational speech. And then he sang that song, but it was like a twist on it on We Are Walmart. Here, we'll go out on it. What do you think about that?
I love the sound of it.
Let's see. We'll do YouTube. I'm going to need you to vamp for a while, is what they call it. And just like fill up the air, fill up the time.
Bananas, when I gonna shop up in the Walmart and you have a good time, you got around your lap. I'm on about bananas and I'm pushing your shopping cart all over the place. Walmart, yeah. That was really bad. Hopefully this is better than that.
What would you call it? Like Walmart team meeting?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of videos of Walmart team members acting a fool, so.
No, I got it. Here we go.
Okay, let's get me a rhythm.
There it is.
Follow me. We are Walmart. We are Walmart. Everybody. One more time. We
are Walmart.
Last time.
We are Walmart.
Hey, now. Young man, young girl, welcome to Wally World. You're going to be a cashier someday. Got a smile on your face. You love this place. Moving those counters all over the place.
We are Walmart. We are Walmart.
Two more times.
Two more times.
We are Walmart. We are
Walmart.
Guitar.
Young man, young girl, welcome to Wally World. You're going
He
to be a
said,
cashier.
young man, young girl, welcome to Wally World. You're going to be a cashier someday. You got mud on your face. You love this place.
Someday. Got a smile on your face.
Got a smile on your face.
Moving those counters all over the place.
Moving those what? You got a smile on your face. You love this place. Moving those all over the place.
I mean, between the Apple Store behavior and this behavior, I feel like there's some problems that corporate America needs to address as far as how they treat their retail employees.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Just the lack of dignity is questionable.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's about it. That's all we got. I got an iPhone. I got an iPhone 16. That's all we got.
That's
We're out of
it,
time, dude.
Yeah.
We're out of time.
We've done it all, but we'll be back next week with the Halloween Spooktacular.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Breaking news. Gentle Giant's dog food. Remember? We talked about that last week. Gentle Giant's dog food.
How could I forget?
It turns out this dog food made by Burt Ward is the only dog food that your dog will need from puppy to dead. You feed it to a puppy, you feed it to a dead dog, it's good. It's good for either of them. And I want to say, I don't want to like slander the company at all, okay? And I don't want to get us in trouble. But I think that they can legally say that because according to this research that I got from a third party, these dogs that start eating Gentle Giant as a puppy die at a pretty young age. So when they say
allegedly.
So when they say that it's the only dog food that your dog needs from puppy to all the way to when it's old or to the end of its life, quote unquote, it's because the life's going to be short. It's the only food that they need because it's the only food that they get money from, allegedly. But I don't know that. What I do know is that I bought some of the dog food. I tried it, and it's not bad.
Wait, you tried it or your dog tried it?
My dog tried it. I fed it to my dog. Dog liked it. Easy peasy. You know,
that's great.
So we'll check and see if she has any sort of, adverse side effects. And I'm not going to feed it to her anymore. Just the one feeding. Because I don't want her to go down a slippery slope with Gentle Giant, just in case. But she said it was good. And I just hope that it's on the up and up because we are tied into this company with the Disney thing.
Yeah.
They merged our contracts together. So last week, the episode was brought to you by Gentle Giant. Yeah, it's going to say that this week too.
Oh, we're locked in?
Every week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Whatever the title is, brought to you by Gentle Giant.
All right, well, just know that we had nothing to do with actually creating the dog food.
We didn't hurt any dogs.
That's Burt Ward.
We don't want to hurt any dogs.
That's the Ward family.
Burt Ward.
Contact Burt Ward and the Ward family. We love you guys.
We love you.
Natural Habitat Recordings.